DaVinci Resolve 18 is out here, and it's a video editing program for professionals. As you can see on their website here, I'm seeing a lot of movies. I don't know if DaVinci Resolve is what they use to edit these movies, but I know that it's a very good program for video editing. It's what the professionals use.
And let's show them what we've accomplished.
However, that doesn't mean that we can't use it today. And we're going to be testing out the free version. There's a paid version for basically $300. However, the effects that I want to go through today does not require you to have the studio version. You can have the free version because I want this to be something that everybody can do. Anybody can just go to the website and download it for free and use the effects that I want to talk about today. Now I'm inside of Windows doing this test right now, and the reason is because Linux does not support H.264 encoding.
That's a real shame for him.
And it's a real pain to have to convert your files from MP4 to MOV in Linux, because you can do this with the FFmpeg, but it creates extremely large file sizes, and it's a real pain to handle and deal with sometimes. Then you also have other programs that you can use to convert the file, and the file sizes are a bit larger, but they're not as large as if you would use FFmpeg. But the quality is degraded a ton, and your video basically looks like a potato. So I'm inside of Windows here, just showing you guys the 6 effects that I use in DaVinci Resolve when I'm editing videos. Now, and they're just 6 simple effects that I would recommend that you use. Now, when you first launch DaVinci Resolve, you may get this error about Intel hardware acceleration. I'm not sure what this is, because when you click on it, I click on OK and it doesn't close the program or anything. First thing that you'll do is click on Untitled Projects just to create a blank project. It's just going to open up. Now, with that error message that came up, if you should go into, let's see, is it Project Settings? No, I think it's Preferences. Now, if you should go here, for me, I do have my NVIDIA drivers installed, and it does recognize that the CUDA drivers are installed. So I'm not sure why it gives that error. I believe it's because I'm using a laptop and it's detecting the other integrated driver, the other integrated graphics. But if you have an external or another graphics card, like another NVIDIA card or an AMD card that's separate from your Intel card, it should be just fine, because I haven't had any issues with it, even though it gave me that pop-up message. I haven't really had any performance issues with it. Alright, now I'm going to assume that you already know a little bit about video editing. Like, you've been editing for some time, you know how to put clips in the media pool, you probably know how to drop them in the timeline and cut them up and so forth. So I just want to add a few more tricks to your arsenal. As I said, these are just a few simple effects that I use almost every time that I'm doing a video in Resolve, because Resolve is not the only video editing program that I use, but when I do use it, I love to use these effects. Now, the first thing that we're actually going to need to do is put something in here to work with. So I'm just going to drop a short clip here of a video that I was doing, and it asks here if you want to change the frame rate. Now, this is the one thing that I don't really like with DaVinci Resolve, because I think it should just automatically pick the frame rate of the first clip that you drag in. But it asks you if you want to change it, because every time you launch the program, it's like it has a standard setting, and if you don't allow it to change the frame rates, then it's going to stay with those presets that it has, and your video will be very off. Your editing process will be very off, because I think it's at 25 frames per second or 24 frames per second the timeline is in by default, and you know that if you're going to be dropping like a 60 frame per second video on that timeline, you're going to be having a hell of a hard time. So I'm gonna just hit change here so that it can actually adjust the settings and the timeline of DaVinci Resolve to the video. And this is a 4K clip here. So let's just drag it onto our timeline and you're gonna see how it functions. Okay, so this is the video. And as you can see, yeah, you really could not see anything there because it's a 4K clip and I'm recording now and I'm using a graphics card with only 2 gigabytes of graphics memory. So this is not going to play very well. Now, the first thing that you can do to get this to play back a little better is go up to here at playback, hit timeline proxy resolution, and then you'll put this to quarter. That's the lowest. And this is for all your potato computers out there. Now, if this still does not play smoothly, although it does try to play a bit better than the first time, but it's still not. What you can do next after doing that is right click on the video and hit generate optimized media. Now this is a very short clip, so it's going to go through real quickly here. But if you're doing this for a lot of clips, this is something that you might have to do and leave your computer to actually do this. When you're done, you will have a wonderful experience editing in DaVinci Resolve. And if you are not working with 4K clips, you may not have to do this. You can just change the timeline resolution to quarter or half, and it will probably work very well. You'll probably be editing very good because I've been working with 1080p 60 frames per second clips in the past, and they've worked very well without me having to make any proxies or any optimized media at all. Alright, so the first one is going to be dynamic zoom, and that option is right up here. It's off right now, but what you can do is you can cut the clip with a Control B right there, zoom that up, and let's say that I did a bit of it on this already, so let's just start right here. So you select the clip and you hit dynamic zoom, and it zooms the entire clip by default. So as you can see, it's currently zooming out. Now you can also reverse this swap. So instead of it zooming out, it zooms in.
Okay, so I've been using Windows 11
it's slowly zooming in right there. As you can see, the walls are getting smaller. So it slowly zooms in right there. So that is dynamic zoom. I love to use that. It just easily zooms the clip. Like if I'm doing a small explanation, I can just throw a picture in there and hit the dynamic zoom on it, and it will slowly either zoom in or zoom out the picture while I'm talking about what I'm talking about. The next one is going to be the right on effect. And how you get this is you have to add a text plus. Now it's just not a regular text. As you'll see here, if I add a regular text and I add a text plus here, the feature that I'm talking about, you'll only get it on the text plus. So this is the regular text. Well, actually, this is the text plus, and you have this feature here called right on. On the regular one, the option is not there. So you only have this option for text plus. Now how this works is, as it says, it basically writes on like a typewriter. So we have the custom text here. What we'll do is create a keyframe. We'll basically drag this slider up until you can see nothing, and wherever you want all of the text to finish typing, like if you wanted to finish typing like halfway, then you drag out the rest of the slider and it's going to automatically create a keyframe. So what happens is you get something that looks like this. Now it's kind of janky, it's kind of slow, so if you want to speed that up, you just get to this keyframe here. You pull this back, say you want it to end a little bit sooner, like there, and you finish it out. So you'll end up with it ending a lot quicker than usual. And that's basically how you use write on. The next effect that I like a lot is a few video effects that basically make the screen looks like a video camera. Alright, so they are called video call and video capture. You can quickly make your video look like you were doing a video call, or depends on what you want. So we've added it here, and it looks like you were on some kind of FaceTime chat or something. This is an Apple OS looking thing here. So this is one effect that I really like to use sometimes. You can go over here and delete it if you don't want it. And the other one is this one, video camera, which it basically makes it looks like you were being videoed with a camera. Those are two really cool effects. I really do like them, and I think you can implement those into your videos every now and then. You don't have to use them too often, but they're really nice features to use. Alright, the next one that I like very much, and for this I'm going to have to import another clip. Alright, so what I'm gonna do basically is I like this one. This one is called Burn Away. And if you've watched any of my videos, you've probably seen me use this quite a few times. It's a transition, so when you add it to the end of the clip, it basically burns away and reveals the other clip that's next to it. Now, usually how you would do this in regular video editing day is make a J cut like this, or is this L cut or J cut? I think this is a L cut. So you make a L cut like this. You'd add an effect on to this clip on the top that will help to reveal the other clip that's underneath. But with Resolve here, this effect is kind of automatic. Okay, so once you add it to this clip, it automatically adjusts to burns away towards the other clip. So
It's been about 5.
Hardest job tonight.
yeah, I really like that one. I use that effect a lot. Alright, the next one that I want to talk about is a audio effect, and I'm touching on this because I think it is very important, and everyone who is doing audio or doing video is probably going to need to use this. And it's actually free that you get it inside of DaVinci Resolve, the free version. I don't know if this was free before in any previous versions of Resolve, but in 18 you have noise reduction. It's an audio effect. It's very powerful. You drag that on the clip and immediately it just starts, it reduces the noise. So you can listen to the audio and you can make adjustments here depending on how it sounds, and I recommend that using a headphone when you're doing this. But this is a magnificent audio effect to use to remove background noise in your audio with just one drag and drop. Now the last effect that I want to talk about here is called blank and fill. And I think for this one, the best way for me to show you is a clip that does not actually take up the entire canvas. So let's say we have this meme right here with a black background. Once you drag this on top, it automatically fills the black space that's on the sides of the clip. So this is what you would do by duplicating the clip like so, and this clip you'd make it larger and add a blur to it, and that would basically fix this issue. So that just cuts your editing speed. It just cuts out all of the work that you would have to do to get this effect. It's just one click, and I really do like that. So those are my 6 top effects that I use in DaVinci Resolve. So I hope you found this video useful. If you did, you can drop a like on it, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one.